Hey guys, James Vandenberg here with Antler Athlete. Tonight we're just dialing in the rig, getting it ready for fall 2017. And I wanted to talk to you about a hand style thumb trigger release, to be exact, and what it's done for me and what I think it can potentially do for you. So I've shot this release. This is the Carter Too Simple. I've shot this release for 2 years now, and I have absolutely loved it. I would attribute this to my accuracy increases over the last 2 years more than any other aspect of my shooting. And I'm gonna kind of give you an idea why I think that is. If you think back to the first time you probably got introduced to hunting or shooting, most of us started with a BB gun, a 20 gauge, a 410, turkey hunting, rabbits, coons, all of that. And naturally, we get used to really pointing and pulling a trigger. When you're pheasant hunting or duck hunting, you're really pointing and pulling, pointing and pulling. Naturally, when I had an index style release on shooting my bow, I would have the habit to get my finger over the release, and as I flashed across the bullseye, naturally my instincts would kick in and I'd really want to pull a trigger. It's like I was pulling a 12 gauge trigger. With the hand style release, it's completely different. So this is a true thumb style release. So I just cocked it, it closes around the string, compressing it with the thumb is what sets it off. And what I found is when I switch to this release, it's a little different at first anchoring. You're anchoring with your hand, the top of your hand on your face instead of the bottom of your hand. There's natural things that are gonna be a little different than your index style release. But what I will say is, what it did for me is when I get this release in my hand and I get it in my thumb and I get on the target, I can truly just gently pull through that shot and kind of make a fist as I'm going, and it'll naturally go off. My thumb doesn't have any tendency to really want to pull the trigger like my index finger had been trained to do. So what I've seen is I can hold better and I can really execute surprise shots with this release compared to the index release. Obviously, there's thumb style releases, which this is the thumb trigger, there's hinge, true back tension, so on and so forth. Either way, what I think you're doing is you're really escaping that natural tendency to want to pull a trigger. We train our index fingers our whole life, if you've ever shot a gun, to really pull. If you've shot those shotguns, 22s, like I said. So if you're having trouble with that, if you're having target panic, this doesn't mean you can't shoot an index style release really good. There's tons of professional archers and really talented people that shoot index style releases, regular trigger releases really well. But if you're really having troubles and want to make a switch, you can pick up a good thumb trigger release. Hot Shot's got one for about $80. That's what I started with. And then I upgraded to the Carter. But give it a try. It's gonna feel different, but I think you'll be able to escape some of those problems you have with the index release. That is just a couple of the reasons why I think this thumb style release is worth trying.
Done this 100 times. 35 yards. Smooth draw. Solid anchor. Squeeze the trigger.
I'm gonna be ready when that buck walks out in front of me this year.
Steady, right behind the shoulder, just like Dad showed me.
We're Cody and Kelsey Robbins from Live to Hunt TV.
And we shoot Tru-Fire releases. This is a release I shoot. It's the Tru-Fire Spark. And it's designed for ladies or youth shooters, so it has a really slender, slim design to it, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love about this release. When I'm shooting my bow and at full draw, I don't even feel my release on my wrist, and that's the way it should be. Everything should be smooth and natural, and that is why I shoot Tru-Fire releases.
I shoot the release they call the Chicken Wing by Tru-Fire. One of the biggest reasons that I shoot the Chicken Wing is because of the fine adjustment on the neck. You can adjust this release right down to the nearest millimeter of where you want it to sit in your hand, and I think that's important. When you're shooting a bow, you want to pull back and you want to find that anchor exactly where you want it to be and not have to adapt to the length of a release in your hand. And the Chicken Wing does just that for me. Whether shooting at a target or coming to full draw on a big muley buck, the Chicken Wing gives me all the confidence I need to make that shot. And that's exactly why I shoot it.
I want to talk a little bit about the smoke today. And as is the case with most of their caliper releases, Tru-Fire has the foldback design, which I love. Gets it out of your way from the gear and everything else. You can keep it like that, climbing up. You're not clinging on the stands or anything else. One of the things I like about the Smoke is the forward trigger. It makes it much easier to take a deep bite and get a smoother release. You never want to release from this position because you'll end up jerking the shot. From back here, it's much smoother, gives you a better release. It's a dime-sized head, and of course, it's that small dual caliper. Love this new release. One note I might add when it comes to caliper releases, you can set it up in the summer, get it to the length where it's comfortable to where you have a consistent squeeze every time. However, when you go hunting, don't forget you're going to add a glove to that, and then all of a sudden the position changes. So just before the season, if you hunt with gloves on, make sure you readjust the overall length to accommodate that glove. That's the new Smoke from Tru-Fire. Love it.
Hey guys, Ryan Wascombe here with the Trained Assassins, and I'm getting ready to do a little shooting this morning. I want to talk to you about the new release from Tru-Fire. It is called the Panic X, and it cures target panic. Man, everybody deals with it at some point in their shooting career, whether you're on the 3D range or if you're hunting, you know, you deal with it. I've dealt with it before. I just didn't have the luxury of having this release to help me cure it. It's got an on-off switch on it. You know, you can cut it on, you can cut it off. It's great, you know, while you're out shooting during the summer to leave it on. And then if you want to cut it off once you get in the woods, that's fine. Or if you get used to it and you realize that you have cured your target panic, you can turn it off. So it's just a great release. It has the foldback buckle on it. And it also has the capture hook on it, which is just another great feature of the Panic X. If you have target panic, or either you're just looking for a new release, go to TruFire.com and check it out. Panic X.